Hello again and welcome to Raise a Glass. My name is Sean Degbami and I'm excited to be on another episode of Raise a Glass. And here with me is my co-host, the beautiful, delightful Priscilla Amadi.
Yes, she's here again, your one and only service culture evangelist on another mind-blowing episode. If we're not even ready for today's conversation. Okay, for those that didn't ask you, a customer experience consultant, I'm a strategist, and of course, in case you're interested in communications. But when they do ask you, you can tell them I'm service culture evangelist. And yes, Raise a Glass is here today, and we have an amazing session just for you. Tell everybody who cares to listen. You can share the link and
Subscribe, leave a comment, share with your family, share with your friends, and even share with your enemies.
These enemies, God, I beg you.
Alright, so I'm here with our guest. Our guest is an amazing personality. I've known him for quite a while. We've both known him for quite a while, and he's going to be here to come and share some secrets with us, right? And with me here today, the round of applause, Denu, Born, thank you for joining us. So please introduce
Yay!
yourself to us.
Yeah, thank you so much, Sean Odegwam. Thank you so much, Priscilla Amadi. My name is Denu Born, but a lot of people, they go with the question that, okay, where are you from? I said, I'm from Ogun State. Are you Yoruba or Ego? I said, no, Denu is a Yoruba. So anyways, for people that do not know, for those that know, or for people that don't know, probably you're just meeting it for the very first time. I was born Oluwafemi Denu Favor Ogunbono. But I'm a businessman, a global businessman, an international business mogul today. Soon of it, founder of Goloku Diary.
Yes,
So, I had to brand myself up, and then legally, I am Denu Born. So you have no right to call me Pheromone. Number one, you don't have the right. You're not my baby. You're not my mom. Call me Denu. Let's be professional. And I'm so excited to be here under my name. This is something we prepped up for since like last month, and then eventually we get to be on the show. So amazing things you're doing at Raise a Glass. And this is going to be my first podcast. Let's see how it does.
Yay! We are breaking him.
I think you should have a bell.
I know. You'll
like
be the one ringing it. I'm too touched to be ringing bells, please. Yeah, so good to have you here, Denu.
Yeah, thank you for coming to the show. Welcome again to another hot take session. And this hot take session, we discuss trending conversation, trending issues for a few minutes before we go into the topic of the day.
Just to keep it spicy.
A little give it that hotness.
Yeah, girl. Spicy.
And today we'll be talking about something interesting, and we'll be talking about pastors and clerics. Pastors and clerics. So why should pastors and clerics share their political views on social media? Is it right? Is it wrong? In the past elections, we've seen a lot of people enraged by the fact that some pastors declared their support for one candidate, and then another pastor didn't declare, and then the people were annoyed that this pastor refused to declare their candidacy, and so on and so forth. So, I mean, personally, I think that pastors, I don't want to see you talking about because the moment you declare it, right? So whether you declare in favor of the candidate of the masses or the favor of the candidate that is not for the masses, you're already sending out a message already, a perception. Because your entire congregation would naturally want to follow who their leader is, right? So if you choose the non-favorable candidate, all your church members are most likely to follow the same tone.
So is it a church or a cult?
Well, what's the definition of a cult? Devoted followers of a certain belief, right? So I wouldn't, if you call it cult like in Christendom, it feels like you are trying to make it. But I would say that yes, people believe in certain people, and they have certain belief system as per Christianity. So that's what they like. So if the pastor or the cleric says so, there is most likely that the congregation will follow what the pastor is saying. But in order for it not to be partial, or for it to be very impartial, I would believe that they should not say it. They can say it maybe in their close corners with their family or with their friends, but going out there and declaring that, oh, it is this candidate that I want, and this candidate is what I want to vote for. Most likely every other person will follow suit, right? But that's my own perspective to this. Priscilla, what do you think?
You are tickling all my emotion. Is it? What do you mean pastor cannot have an opinion? Is it not also in the country that the political leader is supposed to emerge from? So first off, I do not agree with anything this Bobo just said. I no agree. Here's the reason why I have a problem with that. So these religious leaders come to face directly with the effect of bad governance and bad leadership in any country. Because most people run to churches as a source of hope, as a source of faith for these challenges and trial and tribulations they are going through. Okay, so you're sitting in church doing your church activities as a pastor, right? 90 to 95% of the problems that come into your office is is poor governance issues. From I don't have a job to I'm unable to pay my rent to the cost of stuffs in the market is higher than my salary to I cannot make ends meet. And over and over and over and over, you keep seeing the problems that are directly affected by bad governance. My dear host, why wouldn't that pastor have an opinion as to who he thinks is the best person to be the leader? Because you see, if you have the right leadership, there's 90 to 95 problems that comes in, because some of them will want to even sentimentally try to make you solve their problems. And for you to solve those problems, you have to part with money, the same money that bad economy is affecting you. So yes, pastors should, in fact, clerics, they should carry it on their head like gala. Because if the right person comes in, in leadership, it glorifies God, doesn't it? Because what happens when there's a good economy, people are able to solve basic needs. Then when people are coming into your church or coming in for counseling, that in fact, even some marital problems is because of that same issue. The same word, bad economy. And what is causing bad economy is poor, incompetent leadership. There's that part. Then there's the part of where you are looking at various individuals. One is a drug lord with a 0 certificate that we cannot even trace. First class that nobody can find. The other one has long experience in governance and some very, very funny things that nobody understands. The other one, we cannot find his YX certificate. The other one is a well-documented individual who has a track record of well-established businesses that actually made money, has previous good governance experience, and left money in the treasury for the next government to come in and use. And while he was there, he also improved the standard of living, the quality of education, and even the state of security in the state. So you will not say because you are a pastor of everybody else, you will not close your hand and allow people that their way of life is a direct opposite of what you preach to come and become leaders. If you cannot stand for anything as a religious leader, you cannot stand for nothing. You are that people that Jesus was talking about, Pharisees and Sadducees. It's there in the Bible. It's there in the Bible. It is written. Pharisees and Sadducees, they can't stand for anything. They'll be reading plenty law. We not see nothing. So, if you are going to be a leader and you cannot stand for anything, when the chips are down, when your followers need your opinion on something, when are you going to stand for it? When the same effect of bad governance start making the line go around the church like snake, that's when you will now have an opinion and start saying, let us do 40 days prayer for people to get jobs. So people will even do operation, let my people go. From what? Which people? When you were supposed to be a Moses and tackle Pharaoh, you did not allow Pharaoh to fail. You allowed Pharaoh to Pharaoh. And then, no. My brothers and sisters in the Lord, I refuse. Pastors, religious leaders have an opinion. And if you can't have an opinion during the election, don't come and set up 40 days program to pray for people that would that good governance would have saved. T for thanks.
Okay. Thank you. I will come back to that. But
Don't
then
come
you
back
tell
to that,
me
though.
what you think.
I don't agree with you.
So, I'm a very, I can say I'm very pragmatic about this issue. I am a politician at heart, and then obviously a servant of God in my way of life. So should pastors have an opinion? Yes, they should have an opinion. That's obviously they should have their opinion. They should have the person they are endorsing, but should they make it public? I think that's a perspective of the question. For me to address that question, there are a lot of things to actually first dissect.
Okay.
Because the jurisdiction of the pastor is very, very important to consider.
Okay.
This pastor, does he have, because pastors and clerics are called of God. And I think the question was directed to pastors and not just the general religious leaders here.
Clerics.
Generally.
Yeah, generally, yes.
So let us just deal from the place of religion. From the place of religion, people have the reasons, or they have the core of this religious leader, have the core of their purpose of
what they stand for, basically.
For.
Okay.
So if somebody, for example, is an holiness cleric, and the person is standing upon holiness, you don't necessarily expect the person to come and maybe be endorsing publicly someone that is obviously, maybe the person even has a profile, but doesn't maybe necessarily have align with the holiness setup that they are putting forward.
Okay.
That is one. Then also, it also comes to the place of priority, because whether we like it or not, the truth about life is that religion moves things. And religion is obviously what connects men and cultures. It is the hubbub of every single thing. So in my own opinion, I don't necessarily think, especially if we now come to pastors, if we want to discuss this, the sect of pastors, there's a whole teaching on that I can go ahead. But when we just consider religious leaders, it first comes to their personalities, their priorities, and the core of their function in terms of pushing the religion that they are working on. A pastor can be someone who has a personality that is charismatic.
Okay.
And even for me, like this, when I'm a religious leader, or as a religious leader, the person I'm endorsing, I'm most likely going to make it public. Because the people I follow, they are public people that I make public.
Yes.
And everybody know that publicly, then inside I'm always there.
Exactly. You don't have multiple.
But that is me. Somebody can be, even we have it. For example, I'll take what's it called? I'll make reference on the Bible. We have people that were, just following from behind.
Yeah.
They do not make themselves public. We have people like that. We have religious leaders that say, okay, don't worry. We are pushing you, but we are not going to make it public because again, these things are things that move mass movements.
Yeah.
If, let's say, the man of God, one of those big churches declare and say, okay, I'm endorsing, I'm behind this person. We know a lot of things that could go wrong, or go, not necessarily wrong, but go up in terms of what can be canvassed.
Exactly.
People will come up and say, why is it a lot of these things? So
yes,
it is actually the pastor or the religious leader's decision to make their opinion public or not.
Yes.
And again, whatever they decide to do, it is their responsibility to stand with it.
Exactly, as human beings that have rights.
Because they will both face whether they decide to say, okay, I'm following
left or right.
I'm following right. So everybody has to face the consequences of their actions. And their opinions.
Or their inactions.
Okay. I hope they are facing the consequences, because some people are not facing the consequences, but there's
nobody that is not facing it.
There
is nobody. 500. See, inflation is almost 500%. Are you whining me?
If as a pastor you choose the less preferred candidate, and is your candidate that is the for lack of better, the baddest out of all the old candidate that you chose, and then you pulled all your massive people to vote for that person, can you imagine? And you're not feeling remorse about it, and you're like, oh, it's just my opinion. I'm not, send you guys. But I mean,
if I don't want to put
there's something you're trying to say.
I don't want to because
hit the nail on the head, brother. Why would you, as a man that was called by God, not that you used your MTN line to call your Glow line, you were actually called by God. Why would you follow someone that is practically or theoretically the lesser chosen by even the masses that
that's
are
why I
not
said
anointed.
it is personal opinion. These people, some of these people still have some cultural things that have been imbibed in there. So if any other person comes in, they will overlook some flaws. They will overlook some character flaws and say, "Oh, I don't think that
this
person
drug
can
lord
do
is a
it."
problem. But he just smiles left. He just smiles left. Like, oh, when he smiles, it looks very good. I think my spirit is telling me that this person is anointed by God. My brother, we have to review that spirit.
Okay, let me put it in perspective. If I'm a religious leader or pastor, and then there are 3 candidates that have to, and I have a public following, not just people that come to my church that I oversight over, but I also have like a large following. The decision on who I would declare public this is me talking as a human being. Yes, I'm a religious leader. It's going to be based on this. Number one, does this political leader recognize the significance of my authority as a leader of the people? And does he honor it? And the Bible says you honor the Lord with your substance. So yes, does he honor it? So if he's going to he's not coming to prostrate to me, does he honor it? And not just coming to give me cash that, okay, give us the position. No.
They know the honor now. They do honor.
No, let him continue. I like where Denu is
So,
going.
like, does he honor it? So, first off, because the Bible says, what is it called? Gifts opens the heart.
Hearts, yeah.
So, and not just gift, but it should be from the place of honor.
Yeah.
So, does he honor it? And obviously, I consider the track record, and obviously, the voice of the spirit within me to say, okay, this person, who should we go with? But actually, even the voice of the spirit sometimes can be influenced by cords of honor. You get. The honor is first the point of call. Then obviously some other practical considerations like what is this person coming to really do? What is it?
What do you stand for?
What does it stand for? Then all of that factors into my decision to make my opinion on who I'm endorsing, public or not.
Yeah.
So if the person that by all practical 2 by 2 is supposed to be the one, and I'm saying the person still needs to be trained on honor, the person will get there, obviously, and I've endorsed them. And then will be one of the people I'm now going to fight. Not necessarily fight, but you will notice it in my teachings. When I start saying, some of them, they will come, they will prostrate. They were like dogs of yesterday, and then when they got there, they forgot where they came from. When you start hearing those things, it means there's a little bit of hurt going on.
Yeah.
And vitality is because of the lack of honor. So honor is very, very actually important. Politics and the place of religion is actually a thing. There are things that politics is under. Religion is higher. Cut it. That's the truth. Politics and the whole governance system is just to help, things running administrative wise.
Yeah.
But religion actually has a higher place in all of these things to play.
Especially in some societies, like a highly religious society like Nigeria. What do you guys think? Because off the top of my head, I'm a Christian, right? I'm a Christian. In the Bible, Jesus did not say, okay, let me go and sit back. Let the disciples fight to the death or who will be the leader. He specifically chose Peter and said, on this rock. Is it not there?
Is there.
Why didn't you just sit back and say, okay, let these 12 disciples, let the best man win?
Peter was full with honor.
Do you now get?
Peter was.
Why did you
say? It was Peter that Jesus said, give me your sheep. You know how much of.
I'm glad that we are taking. Why I'm saying these things is when you are a leader and you don't stand for anything, there's something wrong with your leadership. Then when you are now leading a group of people and you don't, after not having an opinion on who the people are, then every Sunday you now come and tell the children, repent, for the kingdom of God is at hand. Then you'll be pointing very judgmental and say, if you don't look at your children, if you don't respect your parents, you are going against the 10 commandments. No words.
Okay.
Yeah, thank you very much. Thank you everyone. And we'll quickly move on to our session for today. Yeah.
This hot take was very interesting.
Okay, so today's topic is about Japa. I think Japa is the most interesting slang in Nigeria. Why is it interesting? I think it is something that we've all woken up to. at this point in time, because it all stems from, even from the first take that we're saying when we're talking about economic problems, when we're talking about finding solutions, financial issues, people not being able to, get some things started. It all boils down to this singular thing that is happening right now. And there's a wave. Maybe the wave has slowed down a little bit because, interest rate, people don't have money, no funds, right? But I'm very sure that if you ask the learned people, maybe 6 out of every 10 will tell you that they want to Japa. Some, maybe they are not financially capable to do so. And then some, they are financially capable to do so. And before you know, they will not even tell you when they are going. All you just see is, what that like to post on
Welcome to
Twitter.
a new
Welcome to a
dispensation.
new dispensation. That's what they do. They will not even tell they don't tell their friends. They don't tell their family. They don't tell anybody. You just wake up and just see, wow, BC that I was talking to yesterday. This time you reach London, you don't tell me say they do this thing. I don't be like, your friend don't, that kind of friend do this to you. So, I mean, we're still discussing yesterday, right? Priscilla, that how Japa is even, not tearing up families, but keep putting up distances between families. So you have a family in Ukraine, you have another one in the US, you have another one in Canada. Where do you get time to come together as a family? Some of them will not even meet till 3, 4, 5 years if they are not intentional about it, right?
Or if they die.
Exactly. Or, some cases, some people even die in those lands and maybe their parents or their family don't even know, maybe till months later because of this same thing that we're talking about. That we're talking about Japa is very important, and that's why we have a guest with us who, has some insight into this. Because now I'm going to ask you the question first, and we're going to be talking about the fact that why are people moving exactly? What is trigger force for people moving? Like, why are we even deciding to do this migration? What's the trigger, right? Is it because police stopped you because you did blonde hair? They're now your dreads. They now tag you, profile you as a Yahoo boy. Is it because of that? You feel insecure in your country? Or maybe one day I heard stories that some people in their house, armed robbers came, it was traumatic, and after that they decided that zero. They are done. Is it an insecurity thing? Or is it that they are going for greener pasture? What exactly is happening?
Okay, so they on a larger scale, they believe the country they are in, let's cover the country, is not working. That's to the extent of the people I've conversed with and I've interacted with, not even any data that they put on the internet. Like, this one is real-time conversation. It is mostly based on this country is not working for them. So it is mostly based on that. Maybe just 5% of the whole deal is going to be that. For example, I saw Solomon Bush's post one time before I got that message. Before I did what I did, I saw it one time that he said maybe somebody related to him was caught in a whole rank of insecurity issues. That one too is vital. Obviously, everything at the end of the day boils to the fact that the system doesn't look like it is working for them. So they want a working system, which is why we are here. Because many of them, why they want a working system, they are not ready to work in a working system.
Well, that's another point.
Okay, I see what you did there.
Yeah.
You don't think that they're ready to work in a working system. They just glamorize, the working system. Can you break that down a little bit?
Yeah, greener pastures has a lot of engineering behind it, fertilization, what we call ranching. You have to do what this called this thing in agriculture, where you have to send irrigation. It has a lot of engineering behind it. So it is vigorous.
It didn't just happen.
So when you're looking for a working system, you must be ready to, and especially when you're coming from a background that seems as though it is not working, and if you remain with that mindset that the system is not working, you would have to 10x your normal working rate in the system that was not working to work in a working system. People are saying that, oh God, my spirit is rising.
Let it rise.
People are saying, when the oil price of gas was increasing, petrol was going to 900, I was just watching how much they were selling in the US and UK, and that not reach normal standard. Because that is where they are going to. In the US, I think they currently sell for 2.5 per liter.
So is it 2.5 naira or is it $2.5?
It is actually $2.5. So I will now be like, okay, wait, this thing is still, as at then, I think dollar to naira was maybe like 500. But like, okay, that's not rich. That's the perspective. So when they eventually settled at, I think 900, I was like, okay. As at then, also, I think it was still about 500. I was like, okay, it is close. So it means we are now maybe making sense. So that is like the perspective I always have. But people leave the country and they're like, they are going to a working system, but you don't know you'll be paying times 5 of what you are paying in your normal system that is not working to work there.
Okay, so I hear you. However, they already have like a certain minimum wage there. So it's not like you're working in Nigeria and then making payments in America. You're working in America and paying bills in America. So how is that? And that's me using America because of the dollars thing. But how is that not making things better?
Minimum wage there.
Okay.
Number one, minimum wage there is for people that are documented, or for people that are on the scale of civil service, or for people that are working a job, not odd jobs, not cleaners.
Cleaners are not working?
They are working, but necessarily the tax is quite different. So the minimum wage, I think, doesn't necessarily cut off for cleaners. It cut off for a kind of class of work that is prorated on a corporate basis, not informal.
And you do realize that they have a culture of per hour?
Yes. What I'm
documented or not?
Documented or not?
Yeah.
Good. When they go to those places, the first thing that they realize that it's hard is to get a job or to even get that thing that you're calling per hour. There's this girl that left for, I think she's in England, if I'm mistaken, but because she left for school. She talked about how she got that job. To get, I think, just assistance job in maybe like the hotels, it was a hard thing. Just normal restaurant that anybody can walk in and say, okay, please give me a job. It was a hard thing because they're like, okay, who do you know here? Well, she was yellow, she almost had their skin. But it was still a problem because she didn't have their information, she didn't have their accent, she didn't have all of those things. So I think she was turned down twice. This was not even physical. Obviously, it is not corporate. They put banner, sales attendant needed. So I'm working. And they're still turning her down. No, you can't work.
Could that be because of qualifications?
Because you did not fit the bill.
Oh yes, that's the thing again about working societies. They do have standards that they stick to. They do have requirements that are needed. So it's not in the land of anyhowness where, okay, it's like it's like you have sense. It's like you can count money. So therefore you're qualified.
Well, maybe those are the things. So my own perspective now is that, okay, you are coming from the system that is not working. I want to go into a system that is working. Why not in the system that is not working, make yourself better?
Ladies and gentlemen, we need that bell.
No.
This was very deep, bro.
It's very deep.
Like,
I feel the
that thing that you're asking is very,
wisdom.
very, very, very difficult for millions of Nigerians. Millions of Nigerians.
But the system is not. Well,
that's the
point. I hear you.
Like it's like you don't know how to swim, and then you jump into the
ocean.
The ocean, and then you are struggling to. That's
raise
what's
your
happening,
head.
and you're struggling, and someone is telling you, "Don't worry, keep flapping your hands like this, keep flapping your hands." And you know that I can't.
And then the person is swimming past you and just flapping his hands. Like this. No, do it like this. Meanwhile, you see bottom of the ocean.
Well, most of the time somebody comes to save me, but sometimes a lot of them.
You drown, bro.
Okay. For me to that punchline of first of all, make yourself well. Do you know the cost of actually Japan, even student basis?
Yeah, well,
it's a lot of money.
It's a lot of money. But people always find a way around it.
Good. Why can't you make yourself work and make that a normal for you first, and then now go?
Because people believe. I think that it's a fact that I believe that. If I give you that money in Nigeria, it won't work for me, right? If I had, so for instance, if it cost me about $20,000 to get to the UK, right? If I had that $20,000,
they should know it's 50 million naira.
Yes.
Why did you
But I'm just
translate
saying,
it?
wait, don't,
We are
don't
just
wait. I'm just
doing
saying
minimum
that if
wage.
someone gives you 15 million
How many
now,
hours will you work to
in
get your
Nigeria
$1,000?
now, can you even get the 15 million? Can you work for somebody and get that 15 million? Number one, I don't think
It's
so.
easier to get a
Right?
50 million
It's easier
in
to get that
Nigeria.
15 million in Nigeria than you say, I want you to travel. Because you get people to even support you and you'll be able to maybe sell off some things and
That
put your
support
things
culture
together.
comes
And
in.
that support culture comes in. But if you now say, oh, I need this 50 million, oh, I want to do business in Nigeria. So is it this inflation I say you want to start investing in one capital business that is going to take up your money? That 50 million is nothing.
And
It's nothing.
the business
Because by the time
terrain,
you carry the 15 million,
yeah,
you will not sleepless nights. These are you be looking at yourself, sleepless nights. So why not carry the 50 million and carry the... Now, I am not saying that there are no exceptions to the rules. There are always exceptions to the rules. Luck plays a huge thing. Someone was still saying something that, about, Abet Igwe, where he said that he could have been better than, it's not like his other colleagues were not better than him. They had brilliant colleagues that could do well, but he believes that aside from all the things he did, there was an aspect of luck in it. He was also lucky. And luck can be being in the right place at the right time.
Actually, he talks about luck.
Yes, now, and luck can be being in the right place at the right time. And the right place can be in the US. Yes, the right place can be in the US.
So you can luckily walk into the United States consulate. And then when you are there on time, they will now tell you, okay, you came here on Sunday. I just like the way you look. You wear black shirt, so I give you visa.
Yeah.
Then when you now go there in the America, you will now be
somebody...
passing one window like this. Then people will see you and say, oh, African, you look like my solution. You luckily are here 10 a.m. today. I'm going to give up.
Yeah,
Guys,
I know somebody that went to the US consulate or US embassy for a visa and they asked the person a question. And the only question that they asked the person was that, why do you want to go to the US? And the person said, oh, I'd like to see snow. I've not seen snow before. And he stamped it. Bam.
That has to be in 1960.
The weirdest thing happened.
That has to be in 1960.
I think it's probably like 20 years ago. Probably like 20 years ago.
Go back to Jos. You will see snow.
1960. Because what do you mean you want to see snow? Don't you have television? You know, but yes, I hear you guys. But then the Japa syndrome, do you think that you feel like a lot of people do not really understand like what they want as individuals before even commencing? Do you even think that maybe there's a form of peer pressure involved in this Japa? Like you look left, this person, you said this person good night. The next morning, the person has told you cheers to a new dispensation. You look left, they say I'm a small girl with a big gold. You know, I am wondering, is God not blessing me? Maybe too, I should start my own. Do you think that there's a peer pressure part?
I obviously believe so.
Okay.
Because at the end of the day, people are motivated by, they are motivated or demotivated by what they see or they hear, especially when it comes closer to them. So, yeah, that's our minds work as a seed and a ground for seeds to grow. So when, not me, because I'm not, my mind is so made up right now. But not in my mind, but when people start thinking through, okay, they don't have a job, they don't have a skill, nothing's even working for them in this life. But this is going to make you and this is to send 200 pounds in a day. What am I going to make it?
Need to bring 200 pounds where she's bringing her own.
So that actually influences faster. So people actually make the decision without considering practicalities. And that is why they even relocate based on the wrong route.
You have now said something. See, good.
Let me speak.
Off your mic.
Okay,
Off your mic. That canker one you want to open. I don't know if Razor Glass can handle that. Because what do you mean I'm in the rudder of a ship and going to another person's country? She don't have like cassava in my father's village to eat. But yes, I agree to that part. And to me, I feel also, how about, do you think that some parents push?
Okay, yeah, I believe parents.
Okay.
When I graduated from school,
right.
When I started
okay, but for now, they are wondering what you're still doing as your neighbor.
You get.
Okay.
So when I graduated from school, that was like 3 years ago, 4 years ago, 2021, 21. So, okay. Not just that my dad thought about my master's in that document, not because they want me to advance and make it big. Because obviously, don't you see the friend? You see, this place is not, they even got, some, and I really honor this people.
Appreciate
I
it.
appreciate them. I appreciate
Yeah.
their heart.
You know where they're coming from.
I know
Yeah,
where
coming
they're
from a
coming
place
from.
of
They love and this thing. But, okay, somebody also sat me down, a doctor, I think a professor sat me down because I come from a really, really academic background. And that is still in the, it's a
Academy.
long,
Yeah.
and more. So, sat me down, I was like, okay, that what is the plan now? Masters in architecture. Like, this architecture that I even did. I was the one that said I wanted to do it, too, but
By 300 level, you knew that it's not a
I
college.
knew that it was done.
But you just had to finish because you paid 2 years ago.
You get.
You paid 2 years school
And
fees.
anything I start, I like to finish.
Okay.
You get. Just passing out this.
Aspire to
You
aspire.
get. So it's like wanting me to go there and then now continue that cycle. You see the But that is even
It may not be like that.
It
You
may
might
not
get there and
be
they'll
like
give you AC
that.
office now and you'll be like, oh, that Nigerian lecturers. It will not be better for you people.
But the old perspective, I mean, that sat me down to talk about, relocating. But we know that at the end of it all, is to say, for us to succeed in the family, and don't now come with the first thing, see your siblings.
firstborn
Child.
wahala.
You get. So, and then I can relocate. I mean, I told them that if I'm traveling to the UK, they don't even need to know because I'm on a business trip. I would like be calling you at home. Oh, so you are going to the UK now. You'll be praying for us so that we come back home safely. I don't need to do that because I've been news like that. I think the main point I want to raise is that people are so motivated by going after this human passion that they actually have forgotten that their touches can come from back or their calmness can come from back. Globalization is now practical.
Yeah.
From one place, you can control things and things come to you. So if the system is not working for you, how about shoot your products? Simple thing.
The internet has
You get
open borders,
Has opened
and there's
borders.
now a lot of global village thing going on. So you can still tap from the revenue in working situations
You get.
and sit down in the non-working situation.
Because in this non-working situation, you're not paying a tax of up to 40%. Because the documentation has not gone to that.
But you know, it's not in all contexts. So, for instance, in the kind of niche that I work, if you're going to get a global job, in quotes, most of the time, global jobs, if you are going to get, maybe you want to do roles like maybe performance marketing, head of marketing, and stuff like that, they will not give you because you are in a country like this. They rather give you roles like content writing, community management. Those senior roles, they will not give it to you except you are a resident in that place. They will give you other roles, though. Do you understand? But they will not give you that role, those particular roles. Now, referring to my niche, except you are resident in that country. Do you understand? So again, why would someone think that, why should I be doing, I mean, in Nigeria, I have a marketing manager, and then because I want to go global, I have to be doing content writing. But that's not what I want to do. But because I have to make a global money, I have to do content writing. But if I truly want to go higher, I will have to go to that country to be able to get that position. And you look at the trajectory of those that are, in my space, you see that that's what most of them are doing, writing or content writing. But you might not want to do that. I don't want to write. Do you understand? I want to do something else. Or better still, make I go do operations, become CEO, regional director or something, country manager in Nigeria. Maybe that one will even matter. But I'm just trying to say that in this scenario, you can see that there are a lot of factors you should consider.
So to you now, it is a different conversation. Because I mean, you already have a backlog of things you've done in a system that is not necessarily working. So when you are going to a system that is working, you are looking for the thing that match. In fact, the considerations you have again on your visa is going to be something that will make you actually work. Because let's say for you now, and then you're not thinking of doing, you now decide to do your master's. Let's say the UK.
No, I'm not.
Wait, no, I'm just giving you. This is the way people go, and you go on a student route. You know these things that you are looking for. You have to start from entry level. Are you ready to start from entry level?
Definitely not.
And when you are working as a student, number one, you have 20 hours at most to work in a week. So these are the things that you start somebody that have been coming to you that with 20 years of experience, accounting, architect, 20 years of experience in their own country, working experience, because again, that peer pressure thing comes in, and then they now go and do masters of architecture that they already know. That they already know.
Maybe you don't know, they know the way Baba Salah draws in Nigeria. They don't know how Michelangelo draws in Italy. Do you understand?
So
something like
they
that.
now get there, and they told them that, okay. In fact, the first mindset that you should tell them is that all experience is not, it does not, this is not, this working. That is the plenty. So, because if you want to relocate, there are different conversations. There's positioning across the left, across the faces. Oh, there's something that just come down to the university. Maybe the best route for you to relocate is actually student visa. Then go by the student visa and then go through the ladder of the system. That is, and especially because one factor that needs to be considered is your interest. Are you interested in
Nobody really cares about that. The cocoa is, I enter Switzerland, I enter UK, I enter beyond all reasonable doubt, I don't enter, sha. My leg don't enter. Whether it's through nursing or through whatever course, whatever. Some people, I even heard that some people, they don't even know the course that they take. They don't know jack about it, and they go there and it becomes so difficult for them to catch up with what is happening.
That's what Denu is saying. Like, you don't just wake up and say you want to Japa. If you do not have any plans or intentionality to your Japa syndrome, you will not become a malaise to the society, because you will involve yourself in things that would not only affect you as an individual, but will ruin the reputation of people like you in those societies. And that's what most African countries are suffering from right now. Where you have people doing things that are so desperate, you begin to wonder where you are coming from. Is it scorpions that are chasing people from that place? Because your level of desperation is not even normal. You go without, we have a situation, I don't know if you saw a recent video of where a subset of people were being interviewed in Canada, and they were homeless. You can tell that at the time, yes, homeless. You can tell that at the time, these young people that were being interviewed, if you hear them speak, you know they're not coming from anyhow families. In fact, first off, for you to be able to, from here and get to Canada, your family is not small. Actually. Even if you are going on a scholarship, right? So, but these individuals are homeless. You had one that had blisters on his mouth, and there was one that looked like he was already being affected by drugs. So at what point do you look at yourself and say, okay, there are international opportunities out there? That's what Japa Denu is saying. There are international opportunities out there, right? There are international scholarship opportunities. Don't you think that you, as a person of value, deserve the best things? So that when you go into rooms to have conversations because you want to be in those rooms, they're not treating you like a charity case that fell from the sky. They're treating you like someone that deserves to be in that room. And it's only about time for us, as mostly Africans should begin to look inwardly and stop this whole, in my own opinion, of course, anywhere manner style. If you actually look, there are opportunities everywhere. That's what you're saying, correct?
So we're not saying that you should not travel, but we are saying that be strategic about your travel. Be strategic about it, right? Don't just wake up and say, oh, I want to travel to Ukraine. Ukraine is not raining now.
Ukraine?
No, I'm just saying, like, that's how Nigerians, that's how we Nigerians, no, that's how we Nigerians, like, it's where Bele face is, where everybody is going to. Everybody say, oh, is this place, yeah, let me go there. Like, that's the latest thing. They will give you sharp. But then again, one more thing that, addition to what we discussed, I want to talk about is culture shocks. Like, what are the culture shocks? Because the culture in Nigeria is totally different. You can get away with so many things in Nigeria, but when you now move, when you Japa, you experience some culture shocks, some things that you haven't seen before in your two eyes. You see it, and you cannot say no, or you cannot say yes. Okay, say for instance, I watched the video, right? I'll be directing Priscilla to this question first. I watched the video, and in that video, the lady went to the store and she wanted to buy medicine for her husband. Then she got there and she told the pharmacy that she wanted to buy drugs. And then the other people, they were talking between themselves and they called 911, they called the police on her that she was about to buy drugs. Why? Because they call it medicine or medication there. But because she said drugs, they thought that she wanted to buy hard drugs. What do you think about conversation?
Again, it comes to intentional traveling.
Yeah, actually.
Before you leave, you see, you can't go to Rome after behaving like an Obomoshana. You have to figure out what did the Romans do. What are their culture? And again, if you are if you are going there for the right things, say now, everybody in my circle knows how much I want to go to Japan. And the reason I want to intentionality in Japan. So I know to a very large extent how the Japanese think because I've researched them. So now if I got there, something as basic as this should not be a problem. Will I make some mistakes? Of course I'm going to make mistakes, but it's not going to come from JGC. You will not fall inside a certain culture you know nothing about. So yes, before you leave your shores, what are you going there for? If you see me in Japan tomorrow, you know that I'm there to study their service culture, understand how their view to service, and even learn one or two tips about it. I've been the service culture evangelist for the longest, It's why I would go there. I would also want to check into China because China may not be as high as Japan, but they have that business acumen there too. I want to stroll into Singapore because Singapore is a mix between Japan and China, right? And right now, it has one of the strongest passports in the world. We want to see how a country that was just third world country in 1965, now by 2025, they are first world, not just first world country, they are first world of the first world country. Now, these are, interests that I have in those countries, right? But what's concerning me now with Croatia? I don't personally, not that I can't go there to visit if I'm in Europe, but if I do travel to Europe, I might get there, but not because it's like an interest.
Yeah.
And people should be intentional. I genuinely get heartbroken. And to my people of God, please, I get heartbroken when I see the level we go to leave this country. People put themselves through the most, and the most heartbreaking are those that go through the desert. I look at those people and see, I cannot judge your situation. I have no right to do that. But I'm just worried as a fellow countryman. Like, I know that the country is hard, but please do not surmount yourself to further more sufferings. Your life is valuable. Your life is important. And I know that here in Nigeria, it's very saddening. It makes me so sad whenever I see that level. Sometimes I look at it and I wish I have some kind of magic wand to be able to make things great. But instead of us surmounting ourselves to that level, let us come together. Let us work together and make this country better. Because after running away from this country, you go there. Some countries, some places you will go to, they will treat you like trash. Is it not better you are here with your parents and looking at them and managing? So sometimes we go there and in my own opinion, sometimes we go there and some people die carelessly. Yes, people die in Nigeria from funny things, but there's something about in your country, but there you are there and they treat you second. Some people have been treated very poorly, and I know that yes, the power of the money is higher there, and it makes sense. Like I'd rather die in dollars than die in naira. I get that, but please, my fellow countrymen, I beg in the name of God, let's be more strategic, do more research, use your internet to find out better ways to travel. So that when you travel, I'm not saying you will not go there and be like them, but at least your conditions are way better than it is now. That's all I ask for. I'm not judging you. You do whatever you want to, but I beg in the name of God, please do better, please.
So thank you, Priscilla. To round this up, what do you think would be greener pastures? What would be greener pastures for Nigeria in general? What would make Nigeria be a place where people have to stay so that they don't have to? The first thing, because some people, they don't give up. Nothing concerns them again. If they don't japa, it's like their life has ended. It is a do or die affair right now for a lot of people. The only thing stopping some people is because they don't have money. Yeah. Yes. Yeah. The only stopping is because they don't have money and they don't have the means. Where would they get $20,000, $30,000? Is it people that they just manage to buy their passports? Do you understand? Manage to buy their passport for 50, 60K. Where would they see that? They can never phantom where they will to get their mind cannot get that 30,000.
They should just announce
So
on the
that-
family WhatsApp group.
They should announce on the family WhatsApp group, and you think that you don't, yeah, you think that like you see,
Village people are forgotten about
there are some cultures, I'm not to mention the culture, for there are some cultures, if you're asking, if it's burial money and child dedication money, wedding, Ashwebi, they will drop money. But you see, the money for other things, to further personal growth, zero. It's not coming from anybody. But what am I saying that what will make Nigeria a greener pasture that people will not have to decide to Japa? Because right now, what do you want to tell somebody that it is here?
Yeah.
Like my salary cannot match up again. Nothing can match up. Everything does set. Do you understand? But lack of a better word. What would make that happen? One thing that can make that you think that if it's done, it can make Nigeria a greener pasture.
Okay, so I'm very honest with you because I think the government when I was in school, but I read the book government and it comes back to the definition of democracy. Oh, I'm going to say the Bible says. But we know that democracy is the government of the people, for the people, by the people. Democracy is not something that is administrative, actually. So when the supposed elected governance is not looking like it's working for you, even though it's working for a lot of other people.
Selected few.
Whether selected or not, it's working for some people. So maybe the person want to work to make themselves part of the selected few.
Yeah.
But anyways, if the government system is not working for you, the very first thing you want to do is to become, because democracy is not finished until you realize that you are part of the government. So you set up your own self-government. The point is, the definition of democracy is actually self-governance. Not self-governance of a lot of people. Self-governance. Just the way we say Jesus died for the world. But you realize that Jesus first died for you before you consider the world. So democracy is first for you before you consider anybody. So if the government doesn't look like it's working for you, then make yourself work as a government of yourself. That is, I told when I was going my NYC, this was what I was telling them. Make yourself work. Make yourself work. You make yourself work. And in terms of making yourself work, the life is easier now to a very large extent. But the thing is that a lot of people are not ready to go through the stuff or process. But the reality is that in terms of making yourself, if you have a skill, and I'm not saying a high-end cybersecurity skill, I mean, if you can sell, there are apps that if you be diligent enough, you'll find on Google, on this thing, that if you give yourself 100 days for the next 365 days to just start putting out yourself there for the skill you most are convenient with, you start making money, attracting money from every sources. Because the first obvious thing that makes something look like it's not working is because you don't have money.
Okay. People time value to money.
Yes. So if you can just stay and then just give yourself process. Because when you get there too, and that is what a lot of people don't understand when they relocate and family people start dealing them the next day.
Well, cheers to a new dispensation.
You get
$100.
That's what people never tell you, even after they reach there. 6 months. 2 months.
So to make Nigeria a greener pasture, it is just the basic that we know. And this is not coming from a place of somebody that is not political apathy. Because, I mean, when during the last election, we know who we stood for. But there are a lot of things that come with putting people in place of power. Aside the choice of the masses. The choice of the masses is like 20%, actually.
Accountability is a huge part.
You get 20%. So, the first thing is for you to understand what democracy is. And they taught us in SS1. The democracy, government of the people, for the people, by the people. So, if the government of the whole Nigeria is not working for you, the democracy is not working for you, set up your self-government and just give yourself process with faith. And if you believe in Jesus Christ, obviously, things will make it simple. So, that's my own. That's how to make Nigeria a greener pasture. Because I mean,
so you're personalizing it to like an individual and saying individualistic. you can still get.
Because at the end of the day, when you realize that when you take things individualistic in that way, there's a way it's pronounced, there's a way it's spread. Because there's this scripture in the Bible that says, do unto others what you want to be done to yourself. So in terms of your positioning, in terms of the things you do, in terms of the things you endorse, things that will not serve you. When you realize, when you take intention, and when you become intentional, accounting, governing yourself, you help a lot of the other people out there. Actually.
And then if everybody's doing it individually,
yes,
collectively, we have a higher quality. And see what you did there. Yeah.
Yeah. So thank you very much, Denu, for coming in today. We appreciate you. It was an exciting conversation. And I believe that for anybody thinking of Japa, we're not saying that you should not Japa. I mean, that's not what we're saying, but we're saying that be strategic about it so that you don't go there and you are doing vlog and showing us and crying in
6:30 a.m.
Do you understand? In the snow, or you have frostbite, and we are trying to have mercy on you.
Yeah.
Do you understand that?
Yeah.
It makes it look somehow. You can be actually strategic about it. If you need to go, you can be strategic. Ask questions. Even if you're not strategic, I think if you ask some basic questions, when you get there, you'll be 10 times better. You start with a hopper hand, right? It's not just enough to just sell all your properties and everything and raise the money and just go there to another man's land. What do you think you could do? What are you going to do your first 3 months, first 6 months? Knowing fully well that nobody's going to help you when you get there. Nobody knows you. You don't know anybody. You cannot call your friend. You cannot call your family. To get a job set, it's a Herculean tax. So those kinds of things are there. And then if you are going as a student, that's another ball game entirely. So thank you, everyone. Thank you, Denu. Thank you to my co-host, Christina Amadi. Thank you for joining us.
We're trying to give justice to who justice is due.
Yes, so exactly.
Thank you for sticking with us all through this episode. Drop your comments in the comments section. We'd like to hear what you think. Would like to hear your opinion and your stories as well. You never know about the Japa thing, but yes, you matter.
Yeah, thank you very much. And as our custom, we are going to raise a glass to...
Ding, ding, ding.
We'll raise a glass to the people that are Japa.
Now we love Japa that.
And they will not come back to Nigeria. I hope they will not come back to Nigeria. And I hope that...
Why not?
No. When I mean come back, it's not the comeback that they... that they
people are already saving for 30 December, like no joke.
That's good for them. They come and spend the money. At least if they have business in Nigeria, that they'll come and spend. At least they'll come and spend the money on businesses in Nigeria. So those businesses will pay people's salary too now.
For me, it's intentional Japa.
Okay, yeah, intentional Japa.
Cheers to intentional Japa.
Raise a glass of vodka, raise a glass of whiskey, raise a glass of wine, anything you want. Raise a glass of vodka, raise a glass of whiskey, raise a glass of wine, anything